Julie Taymor's films Titus and Frida are influenced by different cultures and eras in history. Julie Taymor is well known for her innovative work as a director and has used her visionary talent for theatre, opera and films such as Frida in 2002 and Titus in 1999. Taymor is not only known as a director, but she is also a playwright, puppeteer, producer, performer and a designer. Her films are distinctive because they show the dark sides of humanity. At the age of 15, Taymor showed an interest in learning about other cultures. She travelled to many countries, and through these travels, Taymor learnt about the many cultures which she has shown in her films. Her years of study introduced Taymor to many different cultures. She studied Javanese, Balinese, Sudanese, French, German languages, and American actors, dancers, musicians, and puppeteers. Taymor uses theatrical devices in her stage shows and films to demonstrate the truth of a character or situation. In her film Titus and Frida, she used vivid imagery. The film Frida was based on the story of the Mexican artist Frida Kahlo. It highlights Kahlo's relationship with her husband, painter Diego Oscars, and the struggle Kahlo went through after a brutal accident which left her almost crippled. In Frida, Taymor uses Frida Kahlo's artwork to create a montage of the character's nightmare. The nightmare occurs after the tragic accident. Frida has a marble hallucination of skeletal figures, similar to those used in the Day of the Dead observances. In this scene, Taymor borrows the skeletal figures from the Mexican culture. The accident was a mixture of Taymor's technical ideas. She directed the scene and took photos. She then employed the Quay brothers who animated the scene. This image is an example of how the Quay brothers used the image and video to create the scene. Titus is a comic tragedy that takes place after the Goth War. The themes in Titus were violence and revenge tragedy. For me, it was a struggle to take in the dark subjective matters. The film begins after Titus Andronicus, the Roman general, comes home. His prisoners are Tamora, the Goth queen, and her 3 sons. Titus performs a traditional ritual. The firstborn of the Goth queen is sacrificed, marking the end of the glorious war. However, later on, when a new emperor, Saturnine, is elected, he makes Tamora his queen. She takes advantage of her power and all hell breaks loose as Tamora acts out double revenge. In Titus, Lavinia is raped by Tamora's son, Albus and Quirine. Taymor blends colours, imagery and music to create the terminal of Lavinia's rape scene. Taymor is creative in this scene as she has used different methods to show the horror of Lavinia's rape scene. Taymor uses dialogue, imagery and music when Lavinia's hands are cut off and her tongue is cut out. This technique is different and really unique because the audience do not have to witness the horror. This makes this scene less graphic and painful to watch. Taymor states, "I want to blend and collide time to create a singular period that jeopardizes elements of ancient, barbarical rituals with familiar contemporary attitude and style." The film Titus is set in ancient Rome. Taymor uses and mixes the costumes and settings by borrowing from many eras. This technique has explored Shakespeare's play and made it relevant and connect to the 21st century. Taymor uses technology to show time slices sequence by including different eras in history, including the present. The film Titus is an era of its own. Taymor has blended the eras, Etruscan, 30s, 40s and the present. This image is an example of modern day blended with ancient. The microphone is a Shure 55 model from America in the 50s, when Truman, Eisenhower, JFK were campaigning for presidency. The logo represents the logo of the ancient Roman Empire. This same logo was also used by Mussolini during the Great War. A small logo has the letters news underneath it. This logo is present in today's television news. The character Saturnine drives a Mercedes-style car, which is not part of the Roman era. However, it is very similar to the image of Hitler in a parable car when he was campaigning. Taymor has added an additional feature to this Mercedes car. It has a bulletproof glass cage like the one the Pope drives in. Saturnine has also borrowed the way Hitler addresses Germany. In this image, Saturnine wears a leather trench coat, black with white huge lapels in a dynamic red color. The trench coat was made popular after being issued to officers in World War I. Titus is one of Shakespeare's most violent plays. Titus takes place in the Roman era and has also borrowed the use of revenge tragedy from the Elizabethan times. Also, some of the themes in Titus are relevant to the 21st century. Titus is set in ancient Rome, but Taymor has modernized certain elements such as the setting, clothing, dialogue, and music. Taymor borrows from cultures in this film. She mixes old with the new. This creative idea of Taymor makes this film cutting edge. Titus is a comic tragedy that takes place after the Goth War. The themes in Titus were violence and revenge tragedy. For me, it was the struggle to take in the dark subjective matters. The costumes in Titus are from a range of many eras in history, which include the 21st century. The costumes in Titus were a mixture of different periods, giving each character a different feel. The character Titus Andronicus wore a metal armor at the beginning as he was a warrior, but by the end of the film he was in a white bathrobe. This character began the film looking invulnerable and safe. However, by the end of the film, he is naked and in a bathrobe looking defeated. Taymor has blended the many eras with ancient Rome and modernized the film. In Frida, Taymor has explored the Mexican culture, both modern and traditional. The use of Mexican culture and folk art is used to highlight Carlos's paintings and cultures. This film shows periods of time set in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and the interior landscape of Frida Kahlo's mind.